What's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you for an ML Sports Take. It's all brought to you by Jam and Beats, Rosie's Corner, and our great friends at Bonnet Sales and Service. Yes, I'm inside the Dome right now getting ready for another ESPN ACC Network game for the Syracuse women's basketball team, Fair and Company. They're a really fun team up and down the floor and all the rest, so make sure you tune in tonight on ACC Network, wherever you are watching this video. However, this video is on Sean McDermott, head football coach of the Buffalo Bills. There's been a lot of rumblings, a lot of talk that this guy should be fired. A lot of people in Bills Mafia want him fired. I would lean more heavily that I'm kind of like that as well, only because I think we've reached the ceiling with this guy. And there are a lot of people who I've heard the last couple of days, the media hosts and the like, fans, say, well, wait a minute, you got to give him another chance. You got to get rid of the defensive coordinator duties. Folks, he's made the same mistakes for years. He made these same mistakes with game management, 13 seconds, blowing double-digit playoff losses before he took on the DC job to go with the HC job. Now, again, I've said for a long time that Sean McDermott's done an unbelievable job. Culture, team building, great with the media for the most part, gotten the Bills relevant, primetime games, winning in primetime. Him and Bean have drafted a roster that's had an elite starting quarterback, the first franchise quarterback since Jim Kelly. They have done amazing things. He's done unbelievable things in the community. He handled last year great. They won double-digit games in a season multiple times. They won multiple division titles. They've made deep playoff runs. They've knocked on the door of a Super Bowl. They've done all those things. However, the narrative changes in sports. When you become an elite Super Bowl contender, you can't have a head coach who calls timeout in that Eagles game and basically gives the kicker time to relax and prepare. He didn't freeze the kicker. He unfroze the kicker. That's how it goes. And you can't have 13 seconds on your resume. You can't have all the buffoonery, the game management, burning timeouts, not giving your quarterback a chance to win, especially like last year in the playoff game when you're punting from your own 47 against Cincinnati on 4th and 2. You just can't have these mistakes, and you do it over and over and over again. James Cook makes one mistake, you bench him, one of the most electric players on the roster. They haven't been able to figure out the offensive line, and for a defensive guy who's a good head coach, who's a really good defensive coordinator, and I think that's the ceiling for this guy. You know what Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane have done? 7 of their 9 first-round draft picks. Let me repeat that. 7 of their 9 first-round draft picks, they've been on defense. They haven't been able to get to the quarterback when it matters most in the playoffs. How about the over-blitzing and under-blitzing and handling pressure situations? The guy just can't do it. So I would lean more on the side that I do want the guy gone. However, I do realize the risk involved in that, right? You've already established everything under him. And if you bring somebody in, whether it's an offensive guy or somebody else, you can't guarantee that Josh Allen will keep the ball rolling. With Joe Brady or somebody else, you can't keep a guarantee there that everything's going to at least stay status quo. You can't guarantee that the team will be better. You can't guarantee that people will respond. I think until he loses full control of the locker room, which right now it doesn't seem to be the case, but until that point, you probably have to give him one more year. But I think his seat is getting incredibly warm, and here's two more reasons why he's really safe. Number one, they just gave him an extension. Now, I know that a lot of people might come at you and go, well, that really doesn't matter because in the NFL, you can fire anybody no matter what. That is true. However, Terry Pegula, I don't think he wants another huge salary to pay for when the coach isn't there. See Rex Ryan, right? Plus, he's dealing with the health of his wife and all the rest. There's a lot of life issues going on with the Pegulas. There's a lot of business issues still going on with the Pegulas, moving some bodies around and all the rest in their company. So when you look at it from that standpoint, I don't think he'd get fired. And also, number 2, don't forget, Sean McDermott hired the general manager, Brandon Beane. Usually it goes the other way around, where the general manager gets hired and then he brings in the head coach. In this particular case, they had that last draft in 2017. They had already kind of moved on from Doug Whaley and then finally fired him after the draft. They didn't want to release any secrets. Then McDermott hires Brandon Beane, and it's been this tenure going into their, this is their 7th season. So when you consider that McDermott was the guy who actually brought Beane in, I have a hard time figuring that Beane would fire McDermott, although that would take some kahunas if he did do it. So those are some of the reasons why I do think Sean McDermott is safe. However, I think at this moment, as a head coach, until I'm proven wrong, I think he has reached his ceiling. ML Sports Take, brought to you by our good friends at Stanley Law Offices. Together, they'll work to get you the maximum reward. And a big tip of the cap, thank you as well to associate sponsors, the Allen Angus Pub, Brewerton Ace Hardware, Camillus Golf Club, and our awesome friend Brian Comboy at Mass Mutual New York State. Don't forget to get your financial future in order today with Brian Comboy on Facebook, on LinkedIn, at advisors.massmutual.com. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.